Hey, good evening, everyone out there. This is Duran again. I'm a United Auto worker, and I just wanted to share a brief video with you, just share some of my thoughts as we've moved into what will soon begin the third week of the United Auto Worker strike against all three of the big three. Um, it was a pretty active week this past week. They said that there was some progress that was made with Ford, but they're still kind of at a standstill with Stellantis and General Motors, even though they say everyone's still bargaining in good faith. Um, but yeah, we're now in the evening of Sunday. It's the second day of fall here in the mitten of Michigan. Beautiful weather. Um, Grateful that I was able to enjoy that with my family. And I say that because it's not often that we get to spend a whole lot of time together, with the schedules that we have, that's been written for us in the production schedule. Well, oftentimes at our facility, we work 2 Saturdays on, we get one of them off, which is what just took place. And then this upcoming week, we're scheduled for another 6 working days, all subject to change, pending another strike that may impact our facility, or if there's a part shortage that would, slow or hinder or just, stall the production entirely. But I wanted to film on location because what has just happened recently may actually impact you right here at a certified service center. You might recognize the blue and white stripes. This is a Chevrolet dealership that's here in Lansing, the capital city of Michigan. And Lansing is the home of two factories. We produce automobiles for General Motors, Lansing Grand River, as well as Lansing Delta Township. And what just happened with the high noon declaration from UAW President Shawn Fain was that many parts suppliers and plants that work for the UAW were going to begin their strike efforts. It was going to be a national impact, and that happened just a couple of afternoons ago on Friday. So it is very possible that if you have any required service to your vehicle and you come to a dealership like this where you need to get that certified service, they may tell you, I'm sorry, we don't have the parts. We're unable to get the sprocket, the widget, the gizmo, the fender, the liftgate that you need to replace and get your repairs done because of the strike that is now ongoing. So we're sorry about the delays. We'll do anything we can, but hey, have a seat in our lobby. We'll invite you into the VIP room. We'll offer you a hot cup of coffee, and we'll talk to you about what your financial, outlook is for getting you into one of our fresh automobiles over there on the lot. Love to have you test drive one while you wait. Yeah, that might be what's taking place, but more than likely, you're going to have a lot of disgruntled customers. A lot of disgruntled loyal customers that have demonstrated brand loyalty to maybe a Chevrolet or a GMC or one of your other favorite brands that are out there. And that's the reason why I think that there might be a lot of frustration among consumers, many of which have, they may be reluctant to remain on the bandwagon if they did initially jump on the bandwagon about the strike, because they're like, well, wait, you guys are striking and it's going to impact my wallet. It's going to impact, my ability to get a repair or service done. And that's not fair, So while there's been a lot of, favorable remarks, attitude, celebration, from people at John Q. Public, that might quickly change, and that's not the type of fanfare that you want. Is people that were once for you now booing and rooting against you. Another significant thing that I'd like to share is that this upcoming week it's going to get political. What do I mean by that? I mean that the former president, Donald J. Trump, will be coming to Michigan. I'm not quite sure what city he's going to touch down in, but he's going to give a speech, and you best believe it's going to have much to say about what's going on with the UAW and this ongoing strike, as well as any other unions that have decided to strike for, their rights as they see fit. Now, not to be upstage, you got the current president, Joseph Biden. He's going to come to a local town in Michigan one day later. And, he declares himself as the greatest union president that this country's ever seen. So we'll see what takes place. I'm going to throw one more thing out there. Actually, two, I apologize. Number one, when you're playing a game of strategy, something like a board game, let's say, whether it's tic-tac-toe, checkers, or chess, is dimensional. Some people look at the game board and they see it in a finite way, whereas other strategists see it in a more infinite way. They see many more plays that can be maneuvered. They see the opportunities to capitalize and things of that sort. So when you're looking at what's taking place currently with this strike, and you're looking at it as a game player, let's say a chess player, you don't really know your opponent until you see some of the moves that they make. And now that we have entered week 3 and we've seen some of the moves that have been made by UAW President Shawn Fain, we kind of get a better understanding of what, where his head is at, what the actual strategy is to, target and both strike against all of the big 3. And it seems to me what has been made visible through these actions is that he's kind of escalating. He started off on an entry level, now he's kind of at a mid-level, but, and it's the mid-level move to strike this, the park places nationally is a very significant move. Thousands of, members are now striking. That, of course, taps into, the $800 million plus strike fund that's been made available. And you don't want to deplete those funds too rapidly. But you still see that things are being escalated. Now, people that are within the union, they're saying, hey, why don't you just hit them with the knockout early? Make them feel the pain and suffer quickly so that this gets resolved quickly, so we get back to work quickly and we ain't got to suffer a lot of pain and hardship from lost units and lost production. There's something to be said for that. But what's been made visible, I'd say it's just kind of a slow escalation. I don't know what Monday holds. Maybe everybody comes to the table fresh and they get some things hammered out. Maybe this is going to drag out another week, and then he makes another deadline where high noon, I'm going to call and tap on the other local unions that will be next to join the strike, the stand-up strike. That may take place, that may occur. What was the other thing? It's slipping my mind right now. Come on, come back to me. It's slipping, I don't know. Slipping like that cylinder. Can I order that part? I'm sorry, gotta wait. I'm just kidding. But, there's a lot that's going on. No one really knows how this is going to turn out. And now my train of thought is returned to me. What I was talking about, as far as this strike becoming political. Like I said, both former and sitting president will be coming to the state to talk about our union business. Now, I did hear recently that the government has shared interest in becoming involved in a strike that's taking place with the Writers Guild. Hollywood has been on strike, if you didn't know, since the latter part of May, and they still haven't settled. They're pissed off that AI is taking over. ChatGPT is writing manuscripts, and they're showing reruns on television because they can't get the staff together to produce new content. Yeah, that's happening. So if the government gets involved in their union business and they find a way to settle, and it comes out of the taxpayer's pocket, what's that going to say and do for John Q. Public and the perception of what's taking place in the United Auto Workers' current strike. People got a short memory in this day and age. Just watch a few TikTok videos, you'll see what I'm talking about. However, most folks still recall that there was a bailout. Too big to fail. You remember those headlines? Yeah, they talked about that prior to the bankruptcy, that hit GM. And, it reshaped the auto industry. Much to where we are right now. I would say that if I was a fly on the wall back in those discussions and negotiations, they probably said, listen, guys, we'll get you back on the shop floor and pumping out automobiles once again. However, there'll be a day in the future where we're going to pull a little string and there's a little bell attached to it, and we're going to get your attention and let you know that, okay, those internal combustion engines, they're going to have to go away because we got something better. Better that we can gouge people's pockets with. And it's called EVs. Feel me? You dig? Maybe me just over-exercise imagination. I don't know. Maybe there's a measure of truth to that. But the point that I wanted to emphasize is that if this current strike does become political, government heads gets involved, taxpayer money gets involved, and you see a settlement that takes place over in Cali for the Hollywood strikers, and they say we can do the same thing over here in Michigan and get these people back to work. No different than what Biden did earlier in his term with involvement in the train workers union. We'll see how this all shapes out. But nonetheless, I'd say it's going to be rather interesting. So thank you for sharing a little bit of time with me as I shared some of my thoughts about this UAW strike that's still ongoing. God bless, and let's do this again soon.